really love the pastel tones. Another thing that I really like is the monochromatic pastels. I feel like that's easy to get away with. And I just want to note, because we're going to go back to this, I'm going to backtrack slightly. So this picture, this is a perfect tee. If you'll notice, because I'm a rectangular body shape and it says to show off the arms and legs, I've done something different with the sleeves on this perfect tee that kind of accentuates my arms that I didn't think to tell in the other class. But it's an upsized perfect tee. It's a 2X. So what I did is I took and I knotted it just like this, and then I turned those knots inside. So that gives the sleeve a little something different, and it accentuates those arms.
It's that poof effect. So it's giving her that shape on the bottom and shape on the bottom at the same time. Shape on top of the bottom, sorry.
Which is
your heart count photo.
Oh.
Can we what?
Yeah, mine's
Oh.
pretty. We can try it on one of these, so.
Oh,
Tie.
Another thing to note about this is that when you're doing pastels and this monochromatic look that I'm so in love with right now, I did change it up at the bottom. Once you get to my shoes, there's a pop. It's a little bit different. I feel like, because I did have shoes that were the same color as that exact outfit, but I wanted to have a little bit of variation and a little bit of interest. So I paired it with some shoes that have very bold colors. It's hard to see in the picture again, but they've got very bold colors.
Oh my gosh, you rubbed off on me. So it's going to create that kind of full, kind of cap sleeve in a way. Bottom.
Yeah, without having an arm in it, it's not going to give
So
you
when
the
it
same
goes, it's
effect.
going to give it this poofy effect. Do you see this? So the knot's not really there. I can't do it with the type of sleeve this is. But it's going to poof it out more, so it's going to give it.
And you can hop on my Instagram and see the picture better.
So just knot it like you would anything else, and fold it under. It's going to make it stand out more.
All right.
If you guys want to see it, this lady up here on the left has it in her Lindsay.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, cute.
Yes, love it. Just another little interesting element. Okay.
So earth tones. Everybody looks good in earth tones. Okay? Pretty safe. We're talking greens, we're talking tans, we're talking some of the oranges, you have your black, a little bit of brown. I mean, earth tones look good with everything. So when we were looking this up earlier, that they were relating earth tones as dirt tones, right? Because we all want to wear dirt, right? Everybody. So they were saying that a man probably came up with that, no offense, to the fellas in the room. But think about it. So think about the color of rocks, the color of the beautiful browns in the dirt, in mud, in clays. They're very safe, they're very calming, and they're somewhat neutral. Of course, there's different neutral colors, but it's really easy to pair them with other harsher colors, bold colors, jewel tones, but also to do what Sadie Thompson did here and kind of pair them all together.
What it does is it's going to make you shine. It's going to bring that luminescent out in your skin. It's going to, that natural thing that we crave as women, we have to put makeup on to look natural. Funny, right? So it's going to give you that shine that you're looking for. Those earth tones are going to bring that out in any skin color.
This is all you, girl.
Bold tones. I love my bold tones, okay? So we're talking rich reds, blues, yellows, oranges, like electric colors, your neon colors. Those are gonna be your bold colors. So right in this picture, I'm wearing a bright yellow Irma, about as bright as you could possibly get it. It's a Lindsay, but it has really bright, not even a sapphire, but a really rich royal blue in it with a little bit of taupe. And then my leggings have turquoise, tan, and coral. So again, nothing in this outfit matches, and yet it's so fun, funky, and over the top. Not necessarily something that I would put on someone if they've never tried LuLaRoe leggings or they're really uncomfortable with our colors or prints. This is something that I would put on someone who's a little bit more familiar and kind of wants to take a chance. Not something I would put on a new client.
Okay. So next are the neutral tones. Again, I tend to gravitate towards those colors that make me feel soft and girly. I really love the neutrals because it gives you your basic staple pieces. It's like creams and whites and blacks and grays and all of those colors sort of in that scale. They're easy to pair with things. They go with everything. It's just neutrals are a real good staple to have, but you also wear them monochromatically. Again, I will not stop talking about it.
And how many of you had neutral leggings? Light leggings, blue leggings, black leggings, we all have them, right? So a good thing about the neutral tones is that they're always going to be in style, they're classic, right? They're trend proof. So that's a good thing to tell your customers. They are trend proof. So when things go in and out of style or in and out of the trend, these neutral tones will not. Those solid black leggings will not, and they're going to pair great with everything else.
Right. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is thoughtful tonal mixing. So I'm going to bring forward our little mannequin right here. So she is wearing a very bold colored Julia dress and a very bold colored Joy. This is a pretty safe, a pretty standard, and
It's pretty easy to match it.
Yeah.
There's red in the dress, so she's wearing a red Joy.
Right. So you can change the whole look by bringing in a different tone. It's in a different color palette, but it still works. This is thoughtful tonal mixing.
And what does this kind of bring out now? It brings out more of those earthy tones. Even though this is a bold piece with bold colors, adding an earthy piece to it is going to bring out those more earthy colors.
I probably would not have pulled this off of the rack for myself because I don't gravitate towards those bold prints, and definitely paired with the red one. For myself personally, I don't love the bold on me, so I don't know that I would have been drawn to that. This though, on the other hand, this is feminine and soft and girly, which I love, so I could definitely see myself wearing this. So when somebody walks in and says, I don't know, I just don't like that print, or I just don't like that color, you can change that. You definitely can change how they feel about a print or a color by some of this thoughtful tonal mixing.
And some great resources for you guys as well. That color wheel that everybody talks about, that we probably half of us don't look at, you need to. Because on that color wheel, it's going to help you pair those colors. So when somebody's saying, oh, well, I have to match this with blue, is there this blue, like she said, in that color? So it's important to look at that color wheel and find out what can go with that ruby red with them, or, it's going to show that for you guys. And another fun thing that Timber loves is she loves ombres. So whether it's clothing or hair, whatever the case may be, you can Google online, Google ombre, and then put in any color you want. Pink, purple, and what that's going to do is it's going to show you a fun, fashionable way to wear your LuLaRoe, wearing those different colors of ombre. So think of that white Cassie skirt that you have on your rack. If you do the white Cassie and you want to go up to a pink top, it's going to show you how you can ombre that, and that's a great color for fashion.
Depending on the body style, you could do like a darker pink, solid perfect, and then layer it with a lighter pink classic over top of it with that white Cassie.
And we all know how popular ombre is right now.
Love it. Okay, so we're just going to go through the pictures kind of quickly to show that this thoughtful tonal mixing. So this first picture, that is Tammy wearing a neutral tone with a bold tone. And then the next one is an earthy tone with a pastel. And then a neutral with that turquoise, it looks a little bit different in the picture. That looks pastel, it's actually kind of a bold. And then the very end is Lindsay Wheeler wearing pastel with bold. So as long as you are thoughtful and checking your color wheel and looking at those color charts, Pinterest is a great resource. If you want to see ombre, and take it from other sources too. So you don't have to look for ombre clothes when you're Googling it. Everybody's into painting their dressers, those ombre colors, right? So you might start with a jewel tone on the bottom and get all the way up to like almost a neutral at the top. Just pull inspiration from everywhere when you're doing these mixings. Okay, so now we're going to get into some pattern mixing. I feel like we hear a lot about, we see a lot of examples of pattern mixing, but we don't really exactly know how to achieve that, and we kind of wanted to break that down for you guys a little bit.
Or the basic pieces that kind of go with everything.
Yes.
There are basic prints and patterns that are considered neutrals.
Polka dot, stripes, leopard.
Yes. So, that brings us to this.
First things first, you got it. Leopard is a neutral. Put it in your head. I have neutral leopard heels on. I have a print. I have a smaller print, and then I have a print. No, it's neutral because it's leopard on my feet.
Goes with everything.
Perfect. The next thing to consider when you're mixing is to choose one print to dominate and one as an accent. Again, this busy print is really offset wonderfully by that neutral, which is the accent piece. So this is a perfect example of choosing one print that dominates and one that accents.
So think of busy and not so busy. That's an easier way to think about it, right? Think of a loud, busy print that you love, pairing it with something that's a little softer.
Mixing prints of different scales. Okay, so what Timber's doing over here on the right-hand side in this picture, she has a tiny little zebra print on her top, and then she has that beautiful big bold floral. Kind of similar to what I have going on here. I have really teeny tiny thin stripes in my top that you may or may not notice from a distance. But then I have the really big polka dots that's really defined no matter where in the booth you're sitting.
Two different prints that share a common color. So when you're adding, you notice all of these prints are different prints. They're pattern mixing, right? But finding that common color, or from the color wheel like I suggested earlier, finding that common color is really going to make both of those styles of prints pop and also bring them together. So you see Timber here, good example. She's wearing that mustard, yellow, cream striped Cassie, and in that shirt you see that same color. And it's bringing both those patterns together. So it's a good thing to point out to your customers that are always saying, I can't mix prints and patterns, or I have to have colors that match, because they always want to be matchy-matchy, right? Or they want to find the same blue tone. Pair it with a blue tone that's in the shirt, and it might be a small color of that blue, with something that might be in that skirt to show them how that matches.
I feel like this is like, when you're just breaking into something like pattern mixing, this is a good jumping off point, because it is relatively safe, right? We can all pick a color that coordinates or is the same, that's the same in two different prints. Easy, right? That doesn't take work. It's not hard.
So pairing mixed prints with neutrals for an easy vibe. So if you're a little afraid of pattern mixing completely, polka dot stripes, florals kind of thing, what she's doing is she paired the denim with just that softer maroon colored Sarah with her print on the bottom. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Safe way to kind of mix things up.
Okay, so using the same pattern in a larger and smaller scale. I absolutely love like stripes on stripes, but you've got to change the scale of it. So it's hard to tell in this picture, but what Jill's wearing is a micro-striped classic, just like what Tammy has on. It has those little bitty micro-stripes, and then the stripes in her Lindsay are slightly larger. So that's another safe way to do it. Another good method when you're doing the same kind of pattern is to invert the colors. So if you're wearing like black and white stripes on the bottom that are like small black and white stripes, then maybe on the top you want to wear white and black stripes. Do you see what I mean with that? Like maybe make sure that white is the more dominant color on top and black is the more dominant color on bottom, but it can still be stripe on stripe.
Textured fabrics. We have finally gotten some texture in LuLaRoe. Besides the holiday collections, right? With the Lindsays that had came out, the lace ones, and now the Joys, we have that texture. What that texture is doing is adding dimension to your outfits, to your customers' outfits, helping with their body shapes, and adding something fun to go along with it. So they can mix those bold and neutral prints and add that texture to it that's going to give it a little more pop. And that's basically what it does. It gives your outfit a little bit more pop.
You can do it with bolds, pastels, neutrals, it doesn't matter. Anything with lace, or a lot of those Lindsays that are coming in a little thinner, a little thicker, the lace is a little bit different, those are perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about.
And they go great with the busy prints. And we all know we have tons of those busy, crazy pattern prints. So when you pair it with that textured piece, it's going to pull it together and look a little more subdued for your customer.
Okay, stripes and florals, always, right?
Amen.
Always. There is never a question, stripes and florals, always. So here's just a
Always.
lot of different examples. In this, I love this slide because it shows different scales and different examples. I love the one of Kindle and her daughter in the middle because we don't see stripes that go that way very often. And I love that. It's a smaller stripe with a more spaced out floral on top. It's perfection.
That just shows you another neutral, ladies. Leopard polka dot stripes.
Yes, love it, love it.
Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, yeah, this one, this is an important slide. Gotta have this important slide. Yes, take a picture of this, because the number one rule about all of these rules is that confidence trumps them all, okay? So if you feel confident, if your shoppers feel confident, then that's what matters. A smile, we've all heard that expression, right? the